Welcome to Get the Facts, the show that gives you information on what you need to know. Today we shine the spotlight on a growing issue, bullying. Bullying is an intentional act of repeated aggression towards someone to enact a real or perceived power imbalance. Bullying can either be physical, verbal, social, and these days it does take place in cyberspace. It's an unfortunate occurrence in our schools, but there's also a concerted effort to mitigate the challenge. One such institution is St. Catherine-based Crystal House, Jamaica, which has launched an anti-bullying program. Here to tell us more about that is social worker Sandra Watkis-Madden. Mrs. Watkis-Madden, how are you doing?
I am doing great. You?
All right, I'm good as well.
Awesome.
You're at Crystal House, but let's jump into the issue of bullying. Now, there's something that came out in our preparation for this interview. You understand bullying from both sides of the equation.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that and why is bullying so unacceptable? Why isn't it just youthful exuberance?
All right. So for me, initially, I thought, as you said, youthful exuberance. My target was mainly short people.
Oh.
Yes, I used to pick on them. I would take their things and put it at places where they can't catch it and just watch the frustration and all of that. And for me, it was fun. And then I would love to call people names. So as soon as I hear their name, I would find something else to match it and call them name, and persons would like it. And that went on for years until I was exposed to bullying, in fact, what it was and what it can do. And I was like, oh my God.
That's what I was doing.
That's what I was doing. So when I start working at Crystal House and I observe the behaviors of the kids, I was saying to myself, is it possible that they don't know that they're actually hurting people,
Right.
that they don't know that they're actually bullies? And so asking questions and doing little activities, I realized some of them don't know. And then so we launched a program.
So bullying is, based on what you're saying here, bullying isn't okay, it happened today at school and that's where it stops. It has long-term impact?
Yes, it does have long-term impact. In fact, the furthest it can go is for somebody to take their life. And we would have a situation where one of our bullying prevention officers, and bullying prevention officers at Crystal House, we have both students and staff, student staff and parents who are bullying prevention officers. They are trained to recognize and intervene when it's safe to do so. So one of the officers came to me and he informed me that, hey, one of our students tried to kill herself last night.
Because of this?
Because of another student who keep bullying her. So that's the furthest it can go, somebody take their life. It is really serious. Other effects are persons not being able to function at school, people not eating well, not sleeping well, people not understanding their emotion or can't process their emotion well because the only thing that is present is fear.
Academic
Fear,
impacts
yes.
as well?
Of course, academic impacts, because if I'm in the class, the teacher is saying ABC 1, 2, 3, but all I'm thinking, how am I going to pass that guy?
Right.
How am I going to pass that girl? How am I going to use the bathroom? Then I won't be learning. Yes, so yes, academic impact, and by that then you know it affects you in the long term. Because if you don't learn at school, then you can't get the education.
Right.
You don't get the education, you can't get the job. You don't have the job, you might not have a good family.
True.
Yes, so it really needs to stop. It has great impact on people.
It's interesting, a while ago you gave me a bit of data. You said that guy or that girl, so bullying isn't limited to boys or...
No, the truth is no. Bullying doesn't have a face. So persons sometimes think it's the big tough guys that are the bullies. But we would see some small little kids bullying the big ones. Yes, and they call them fat, they call them Hulk, they call them all kind of names, they hit them and run because in their mind they can't run me down, they're too fat to run me down and stuff like that. So we have the pretty ones, the ugly ones, not ugly as in quote unquote, or they're categorized. We have all type.
Right.
Those who you deem very intelligent, those who you deem not so intelligent. Bullying doesn't have a face.
So how, in your experience as a social worker, how does an instance of bullying usually start?
That's a tricky question because most time we get it when it is out there. It's advanced, but it can be very subtle, especially where the social bullying is concerned. So that is, hey, if you want to be friends with me, you can't be friends with that person. And so in order to fit into this group, you start to doing whatever they want you to do. Even though your heart is connected to that other student and you want to be there, you realize if I am with that student, then I'll be excluded from things over here.
Yeah.
But I want to be in this too. I want to be seen as the popular. Yes? And one instance in recent days since we've launched the program, and that's the beauty of the program, it has created a safe space for people to speak out, to say this is what is happening. We were called to a group of students, and you want to guess what grades they were in?
4.
Grade 1.
1, oh wow.
Yes, grade 1. Babies. And they were very vocal and assertive and telling us the things that are happening. You have one student who has to carry Sweetie every single day for the leader, or else she will be excluded from activities. Amazing. So we see the social bullying right there at grade 1. And then we have those who call names, and those we don't talk to because they lose their teeth or they can't speak properly, or those who are too short or too this or too that. And that's grade 1. When we ask, and that's the good thing, they are very vocal. When was this started? Oh, it started last year, January.
Long time it around.
So if it started last year, January, then they would be in kindergarten. I was like, are you sure? And then one of them, yes, miss, it started 2 weeks after X, Y, and Z came to this school.
Yeah. But I have to ask here. So, okay, you're talking about the program at school, the interventions with the children. What role do parents working with the educators have here? And I'm asking against the backdrop of parents ensuring that they can work with the educators. And sorry if I can just go a little longer. We're talking about Sweetie and who can be friend with who. And I can imagine a parent might say, how that you going so far? What role do the parents have here?
All right, so the first thing is to get yourself informed, you know. What is bullying and the effect that it can have? The long term, the short term, how will this impact my child, or how is it impacting another child?
Right.
And when you harm yourself with that information, then you're able to take a stand. The school is supposed to create the environment where the parents can question, hey, I noticed that my daughter no longer want to go to school, or my daughter, things are being destroyed, and what is happening? What is happening? The home should also create that environment where a teacher can call and say, hey, guess what? This is what is happening at school. We need you to come in. So once there's that symbiotic relationship, we realize that the goal of this thing is to help your child become the best person he or she can become. And we are working together. We are not picking on your child. We are not belittling you. We are just working together to ensure that this child is successful. Then each of us will play our part. So the parents will model the behavior that they want their children. They'll also create the environment where that child can be safe, knowing that when I come and say, Mommy, this happened at school, you're not going to put on your mad hat, quote unquote, and go down to school, but you're going to deal with it in a way that I will feel proud knowing that this is my mother. Because we'd have cases like that where I can't tell Mommy. I said, did you say that to Mommy? No, if me tell Mommy, miss, she'll come down here, and so Mommy is a bully too. Right. So you model the behavior, the positive behavior that you would want your children to display. And when you do that, then they will come to school and try that with the support of the school-based professional. We encourage that all school-based professionals should be trained in trauma-informed and social and emotional learning. So the school-based professional would also be modeling that behavior. So they would see every moment as a learning opportunity. So let's say we see bullying. We don't attack it, because then that's what the child is used to being attacked. You try to solve it, and you allow the child to make the decision. So you would say, hey, how did you feel about doing this?
I'm going to put a pin right here because I'm very interested in hearing how this is going to go. But we've been discussing bullying in schools, and we're going to go for a quick break right now. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're speaking with Mrs. Sandria Watkis-Madden, a social worker at Crystal House, Jamaica, on the matter of bullying. Lady Watkis-Madden, so I don't know that bullying is a new invention. It's been a thing.
It has been.
How has social media, though, changed how bullying works? What have you seen?
You know, to be honest, it's a scary era we're in. Because now, to humiliate somebody is where you get your likes.
Okay.
So normally, It's supposed to be, you did this and it is wrong, and we're supposed to say, this is wrong, stop it. But this is where now persons are liking your video, sharing your videos, and then you're feeling more and more popular, and that what I'm doing, hey, it's the in thing. It's also create a numbness to it. So everybody wants to capture the moment when somebody fall or did something stupid to post it so that everybody... Yes,
yeah.
yes. So it creates a numbness. So it means that we have a lot of work to do to ensure that persons understand the psychological effect that these things can do. And since everyone have access to smartphone, and these kids learn how to use the phone before they even learn how to walk properly, then before you know it, something is out there and it's in cyberspace and it's there forever.
Right.
So persons are forever contending with it. So it means that parents have to be on the lookout. They have to take the necessary precaution to ensure that their children are using the internet safely, and school has the responsibility to inform and guide persons as to how they use social media.
You know, that's interesting because also it occurs to me that with the advent of social media, bullying can follow you away from school.
Oh, yes.
One time you'd go home and you'd have a little freedom from the bully. But as we come to our close, what should parents look out for? Signs. My child is either a bully or bullying.
Okay, so one thing that I would want parents to know is this. You have a great role to play in preventing bullying. And the first thing you have to do is to listen. Not just hear what your child is saying, but listen to what your child is saying. Listen to his or her body language, listen to the tone. So the child is used to excited about going to school. No, he's just dragging himself. What is happening? What is happening? Something is happening. And if the child is saying, I don't want to go to school because I'm afraid of Mark, it shouldn't be that you curse him as weak. Or her as weak, but validate that feeling. It's okay. Why are you afraid of Mark? Why is it that Mark want to
this or that, you know,
yes,
work through the fear.
Yes, and then when you get to understand, then you will know what to do. But we can't just sit back because, as I mentioned earlier, one of our students wanted to kill herself, and it's because of bullying. So we need to allow persons to know that we have a role to play. And bear in mind, not because someone is a victim, it doesn't mean that that person is not a bully.
Got it.
And not because someone is a bully doesn't mean that that person is a victim.
Got
So we all have a role to play. The victim, the bullies, the bystanders.
Right.
We have a role to play.
Final few seconds, the toenail of the interview. What's on the horizon for the anti-bullying program?
Well, we're hoping to take it to all the schools.
Cool.
So currently we are at Crystal would have gotten 2 requests from 2 schools saying, hey, can you come in? We have our songs, we have some of our books, we have a whole lot of things, and we want to take it across the country.
You showed the books so quickly.
Oh, there they are. So this is only the manual that we created, and these are stories. We ask the students to write their stories, how has bullying affected you, and then we put life to it. They're not yet published. They're just available to students and parents, but hopefully someone will come on board and help us to publish all of these so that the whole country will have it.
Got it. Any final word, very briefly? Any last thing you'd like to say?
I just want to say bullying is real and it's not cool.
Okay.
And we should do everything in our power to ensure that our children are protected. They are the future. And bullying can follow you all the way until you die. So if we don't do something now, we might lose them.
Yeah, the scars on hearts and minds. We have come to the end of the program. I do hope that you have learned something, that your eyes have opened a little wider, and that you'll be on the guard against bullying and the perpetrating of bullying. So until next time, do take care.